Okay, so I know you only asked for like 2 of these down here, but I think it's a little easier to go through the whole thing so you kind of have a better understanding of how to get to that answer. So gravida, when you're just looking at GP, not GPTAL, gravida is all pregnancies. So even the one you're currently having. So we have 5, so that's why this one is 5. Para is all pregnancies that ended, so you were delivered, is part 1 of it, so they have to be delivered. Okay, so that's why we cross out this one on P. There is no P up here because this one hasn't been delivered. And then the second part of this, so we should have 4, but the second part is viable gestational age, which is where they call that 20 to 24 age range. Okay, so automatically we can cut this one out. Okay, so that's why we only have 3 down here in our GP. All right, then we go to T, which is term pregnancies, which we know is after 37. So none of her deliveries that have happened, because again, we can't look at this one because that delivery hasn't happened yet. Looking at these, none of them come after 37. So she has 0 term deliveries. Our second P back here is preterm. So preterm is from 20 to 37, or 36 and 6 days. So out of these ones, you would think this is preterm, or our second P, because it was a delivery that was earlier than 37. But we only have 3 because this one is technically under 20. So preterm would be, has to be greater than 20. Oops, that's backwards. Greater than 20, but less than 37. Okay, so we have 3 that were greater than 20, but less than 37. Okay, so that's our preterms. Abortions, an abortion, is like the miscarriage. So if you look in a book, I know there's a box somewhere that says kind of a little bit less of what I'm saying, but abortions happen under 20 weeks. So, because abortion is just your body evacuates the pregnancy. Like, it doesn't happen. It's done. So, under 20 weeks. So that's why we only have 1 abortion. Because this is the only one that's under 20 weeks. Okay, so the reason this comes into play with this one, though, and why this one isn't an abortion, is because looking at this, and then viable gestational age. So viable just means living or alive or can live. So Kippy said in class it's 23 weeks, technically, like overall. Overarching is 23 weeks. The book, yes, does say 20 to 24, but what it means by this and why this is different is because anything born less than 23 weeks, it will be born, so it's not an abortion, because there's a difference between an abortion and something being delivered, if that makes sense, because that will help. So abortion is not a delivery, okay? And then this one was delivered because it wasn't aborted, because it was past 20. But anything less than 23 weeks probably won't live outside of the womb. It's going to have severe issues. So the reason she calls this not living is because it is less than this 23 weeks, and something that's beneath viable or less than viable will not live. And that's why this one's probably deceased. But it's not an abortion because she did deliver it. Her body didn't abort it like this one because it was less than 20. So that's why you have 2 living children, because we already marked out this one did not make it to viable gestational age, which is 23. So if this had said 22, we would say the same thing, that this one wasn't an abortion, but it is not a living child. If this said maybe 18 weeks, that's when we would change our abortions to 2. Okay? But at 21, you delivered it. It didn't get aborted by your body or by some medicinal process. So it was delivered, not aborted. But that baby, that fetus is not viable. It's not old enough to live outside of the womb. So it did not make it. So that's why you only have 2 living children right here. Hopefully that helps. Let me know.